Please. Hello. Hello. Facebook viewers, hello. Let's greet our friends online. Hello. So welcome back. Welcome back, our friends on Facebook. Please go and invite your friends, your family, and share. Yes. So welcome back to the evening. That should be the fourth section of the day. We are still here, learning, excited, tired, sleepy, all in one. But we are fine. We are still going, and we'll still keep going. Yeah. So as we wait on DSA, I still want to greet you guys. And once again, I want to make the announcement of the forthcoming History Makers training, which will take place from the 2nd to the 7th of January 2018. 2nd to 7th of January 2018. Please save the date, and we will be excited to have you here with us to spend the new year and then have a wonderful time with DSA. Yes. So, well, I think that's the announcement I have for now. Furthermore, further ado, we'll call share.
Hello, everyone. I'm Share. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to DSA Facebook page. If you're watching from YouTube, welcome. Thank you for joining us. This is day 5 of History Makers training, and the theme for this training is personality. You know, guys, personality have a whole different meaning to me now. Following this training, I am so glad to be here. I said this morning that I was in a gold mine, and I mean that very, very much. So, guys, next time we're having HMT. Babu just announced the next HMT is on the 2nd to the 7th of January 2018. It's not that long, okay? I know it's next year, but it's only 6 weeks from now. So, guys, start preparing. Buy your flight ticket now. Do your bookings now, okay? So, guys, one more thing. It's not one. You know what it is. It's not one. It's not 2. It is 3. Share. So, guys, please do the honors and share right now. I have a remedy to the fact that I couldn't see your name in the last few weeks. I've got my phone out so I can see people's name and say hello today, because I miss you guys so much. You know, usually in the evening, I'm saying hello to one person or the other. And in the last week, in the last at least 5 days, I haven't been able to say that. But today, I thought I used my mind. And I've got my phone. But before I do that, I'm going to ask you to share again, please. Please share. The first way that I know that you can share is just click the share button or tap the share word or symbol, and that will go onto your page. That is as simple as that. Just share to go on your page. Everyone that goes on your page will be able to see this video and join us. Another way of sharing is tagging. Tagging is simply just using the symbol @. That's the same symbol that you use to write your email. So that symbol with the person's name, without any space, you will tag a person. So tag as many people as possible. People love tagging because what happens is they get a notification that their name has been mentioned on this page with this video. So people usually come and pop in, and by the time they pop in, they will find something interesting and stay and learn also as you are learning. You know, my ethos about sharing and learning is simply so that more people can have the same wisdom, the same understanding, same knowledge, so you don't end up interacting with people that will frustrate you. You know, imagine a world where you know what you know and everybody else don't. You know, you're just frustrated because they don't have the understanding. They're not being wicked. It's just because they're not exposed to it. So expose as many people to the same knowledge, to the same rivers that you're learning from, and we can learn from each other. So please do share by tagging, by sharing onto your page, and also inviting people. Inviting people is also good because that individual will know that you thought of them and you chose their name to invite them to watch with you. So please do so now. How are you, everyone? I miss you so much. Hello, Raja. How are you? Ibidu, good evening. Thank you for joining. Hello, Samuel. Chinwe is here, but I'll say hello anyway. Hello, Edwin. How are you? Who else have I got here? Rochelle White, good evening. Thank you for joining. Hi, Gift. Ayotunde, good evening. Ogachuku, good evening. Hello, Paul. Good evening. It's been a while, Paul. Aromas, good evening. Thank you for joining. Oluwatoyin, good evening. Omonike, how are you? Thank you for joining. Hi, Gift. Thank you for joining. Moses, good evening. Hi, Charles. Ade Dotun, good evening. Jumi, good evening. Chinelo, Frank, how are you? Thank you for joining. Hi, Jake. Hi, Vanessa. What else have I got here? Agatha, good evening. Victoria, good evening. Another Charles, good evening. Thank you very much. Vivian, how are you? Hi, David. Hi, Daniel. Mufelola, good evening. Kennedy, good evening. Thank you for joining. Justine, good evening. Goody, good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you all. I appreciate you. Samson, good evening. Stephen, good evening. Thank you for joining. Guys, it's been a pleasure knowing you, and it's always a pleasure also to see your names. Chidi, good evening. Thank you for joining. Hi, Jane. Adamu, good evening. Idehi, good evening. Ola, how are you? Hello, Dr. Success. Bakare, good evening. Osas, how are you? Gloria again. Samara, good evening. Thank you, David. Good evening. Ted, good evening. Queen Anastasia is here. Good evening. Edwin, another Edwin, good evening. Thank you all for joining. Munette, good evening. Hi, Leo. Thank you for joining. Everyone, I appreciate you for joining us this evening. It's day 5 of History Makers training, and we're here in Kyiv, Ukraine. There is another History Maker that is coming up, and that's from the 2nd to the 7th of January 2018. It's just about 6 weeks from now, because December, 6-7 weeks from now. So do your bookings now. Check out the blog, which is Sunday Adelaja blog.com/visit, and you will see the forms on there as well. So start showing your interest and start doing your bookings now. We're looking forward to having you. You've heard from a lot of the delegates here right now and how things have changed for them in just a few days. So if you want to be a partaker in life transforming education, self-development, here's another opportunity. Early January for you to do that, to join us here in Kyiv, Ukraine. I hope you're all doing well. Dr. Sunday is going to join us very soon. You know, he only just went. We only just finished one program about 20 minutes ago, so he's recuperating, I suppose. Actually, he's in a meeting, so he will be joining us in a few minutes. Hello, Miss Deborah Cole. How are you? Good evening. Hello, Queen McDonald's. Good evening. Oh, King and McDonald's. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Adebono Jo, good evening. Oriyomi, good evening. Thank you for joining. Hello, Pastor Edwin. How are you? Thank you for joining us. So, guys, I'm going to show you some books, Dr. Sunday's book that, we love. I know that you will love as well. And if you want to book from here in Ukraine, okay, there have been a few people that have been ordering from us here in Ukraine. There are some logistics requirements, which we would send you information for. But you can order. It's at a discounted promotional price here in Ukraine. It's cheaper than going on Amazon, but Amazon will be more convenient. You can get it in a few days. So please feel free if you want to order some of these books on Amazon, or if you want to order from us, we will also put a link up so that you can order from us here, and we will package it for you and send it over to wherever you are in the world. So please, you can go to either platforms, either on Amazon, or you can order from us. We have a form online that you can order books from. So I'm going to show you some books now, but before I do so, guys, please start sharing. Share in the 3 methods that I know that I have shared with you as well. So I'm going to start today with the book that accompanied this training today. Well, this week, not just today. This book is Where Are the Heroes? Let the Heroes Arise. This is an excellent book. I haven't read this book yet. We just published, Dr. Sunday published this book a few weeks ago before this training started, but we've just received it in the paper copy, in the paper copy. So I'm just actually holding this book for the first time. It's quite a hefty book in terms of size, but if it's anything like the content of this training, I think it's absolutely worth getting. I mean, being a personality, I was going to say, and I said something else. Being a personality, that word for me is just a word that maybe you use for celebrity or some people that are very flamboyant in their character. But a personality for me now has a totally different meaning, a deeper meaning, and it's something that I am trying to develop in myself, and I think we should all develop to be a personality, not just mere mortal, or as Dr. Sunday would usually say, biomass. I don't want to be a biomass. I think I have actually moved on from being biomass, actually, if some people would agree with me. You know, I'm maybe, okay. Okay, I'm trying not to be a biomass, but, you know, being a personality is my aim, is my objective, and I'm working on that now, and this training is really helping me, but there's also a book to help and accompany the education, the knowledge, the understanding that we're getting from this training. So here's the book again, Where Are the Heroes? Let Heroes Arise. You can order this on Amazon, both electronic and paperback. So check the book out, please. We have another book that Dr. Sunday has been talking about. This is quite hefty. Oh, gosh. All right. Right. I don't know how many pages this has, but it looks like, let me have a look. Okay. This is over 300 pages, this has. So, it's the law of difference. This is a fantastic book. Dr. Sunday did a review on it. I haven't actually read this book myself, but the information that I got from the review is that this helps us to see individuals as God's creation and God's purpose, and to respect and honor them for the differences that we have, or the ways that we have little quirks. This is a fantastic book. It says the law of difference. I think that it's a book that is worth getting. I'm actually going to read this. I hope I get to read this by the beginning of next year, so that I can have more understanding and maybe do a review with you, because Dr. Sunday do go on about this book a lot, the law of difference, and I think we need to understand this. You know, some of Dr. Sunday's book made me realize a lot of things. I remember when he was reviewing this book, if we understood the law of difference, there wouldn't be war. There would not, you know, the segregation that we have, the differences that we have in the world, we wouldn't have such difference if we have this understanding, the law of difference. And it's so important that we're different, that we're all not the same. It makes absolute sense to me. But until I read it, I'll just give you this small synopsis that I know. But when I read it, I will do a review on it. I also know, guys, if you were in the last program, Julie just put a challenge up that we all read. Maybe we start January, actually, or we could start from now, rather than having to wait till January, to read 12 books in a year. You know, so that's a challenge that Julie put up. If you're interested in that challenge, let us know, and we all work on it together, because I don't think I'd read 12 in a year. Some months are really good. I could read 3 books, I think, at most. But then I might not read for another 4 months after that. Unlike Dr. Sunday that reads 3 books a day. So I haven't got there yet. And I still look at books. What I do is I display all the books in my room so that I feel guilty when I see them. But even that one is wearing off, you know. The next book that I have here is The Mountain of Ignorance. This book, I told you a few days ago that when I read this book, it was I think it was April, the last HMT, and you know, I was really ashamed of myself, because I only started reading it because it was part of the book required for the HMT, and I was thinking, oh, this doesn't apply to me, but let me read this book so that I can select all the ignorance that I know, and I'll tell them off that your ignorance this, ignorance that. Hold and behold, guess what? I am all of the ignorances there, and it was so embarrassing even to read, because every chapter or even every page, there's something that I identify about myself in this book. But it's absolutely worth reading, because then actually I realized that I need to work on myself. There's a lot of things that I need to work on myself, and also in terms of believing what I believe and what I don't believe is just all out of ignorance. So I love this book. So get this book. Okay, I said with the books, Christmas is coming up, guys, and you know, I think it's a good idea to get people books for Christmas. Be selective with the titles, you know, because you might select a title that will piss somebody off, but have the right intention for them. You know, it's all about the intention and I think some of these books are really great. This one is a very good one. I don't think anybody will be offended if you get them, How to Build a Secured Financial Future. I think anyone will be happy with this. So this is a book that you could get, and it's not that thick. I think, yes, just over 200 pages. I think somebody will be happy with this. I love how-to books because it's almost like a direction. How can you go wrong? It just tells you what to do, how to do something. You know, what can be wrong with this? How to build a secure financial future. So this is an excellent book. I think anyone would appreciate this if you get this for them. So how to secure a financial, how to secure a financial future, how to build a secured financial future. Okay, next book, Money Won't Make You Rich. If you were in the program today or you joined us this morning, this afternoon, we had Aaron's Emmanuel that did a presentation, not just presenting this book, but taking the lessons from this book with investments and giving us information on how to manage money, what to do financially, how to secure your finances, how to build your future financially so that you're financially stable in life. And if you want, you can read this book and also watch that video as well. I think it will really help. So watch the video and read the book, or read the book and watch the video. Both together will be fantastic. So we will put the video on YouTube in the next, maybe in the next 48 hours. And Money Won't Make You Rich. I read Money Won't Make You Rich, and believe me, there were lots of things that I used to do, but after reading this book, first of all, I was very conscious of what not to do and what to do. And secondly, I actually started practicing a lot of the information that was given to me here. And I started thinking of my responsibility in terms of managing money and understanding the difference of being rich and being wealthy. You know, so this is a fantastic book. Get it. Money Won't Make You Rich. And you might actually get this also for Christmas. I think it will be a good one for Christmas. Okay, how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. This book, again, I told you I love how-to books. And it's not just about Nigerian, because I know it's not just Nigerians that are watching Dr. Sunday. We have people from all over the world, from different parts of the continent. So you can watch this. You can read this book. You don't have to be Nigerian to read how the Nigerian economy can overtake the American economy. You can also change it to your country and, or even yourself personally, because the principles in here that will help individual as well, not just a nation. The other thing I wanted to say about this is that you also help you in business, because there's so many strategies. If you're talking about countries and how the country can help themselves to overtake an American economy, if you apply the same principle in your business or even in your household, you will find that you would be winning either way. So it's a win-win book for me. I think it's an excellent book. Please, if you're interested in this, order it. And then, one of my favorite titles here, No One is Better Than You. Can you believe that? Do you believe that? Because, it's one thing to say it, but do you actually believe that? I absolutely love the title, and I love this book as well. It says how to become the best version of yourself. The interesting thing about this is that, we're all created by God, and God has an intention for us. And today, just about less than an hour ago, Dr. Sunday was talking about how God sees you is how you could be rather than how you see yourself. And this book is one of the books that will help you to be how God sees you rather than how you see yourself. I know that I'm not where I would like to be, and I definitely know that I am not exactly how God sees me. So this book, having the understanding that no one is better than me alone, has really helped me mentally, physically, emotionally, relationship-wise, everythingly, has helped me. But also these practical ways for me to also understand how God feels about me and how I can develop myself to be the version or the best version of myself. So If you want to be the best version of yourself, we all have versions, either we like it or not. Version 1, version 2, depending, we're changing every day. Someone yesterday, I think actually it was today, was saying that we all change, either we like it or not, or either it's a change that we approve or we consciously decided on. But this actually will help you to make a strategic change in your life, a change that you choose to take in your life. So go ahead. No one is better than you. And actually, I just thought this would be good for Christmas. It's got this red cover as well. And how would anyone feel if you give them a book that says no one is better than you? This is a really lovely book. I actually think this is a great one to give anybody. And once they read this, they would go ahead and buy other books themselves. Not to worry. I think, yes, everyone, you can give people this. They won't get offended at all. No one is better than you. Brilliant book. Then we have here, how the Nigerian economy can overtake. Oh, I've done this one already. I must have put in the wrong file. Yeah, I do. That's why I picked up another Nigerian one. Only God can save Nigeria. What a myth. This particular book, I usually say, only God can save Mayowa, that's my name, or share. What a myth, okay? This is a fantastic book. I read this book, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe what I was reading, the understanding that God has actually put me in control to take charge, to be a solution for my world, and I need to take that responsibility. This book made me so responsible, and I read it, I think, in a couple of days. I became so responsible that week that I just couldn't go back. This book makes you really see yourself also in the way God sees you, that God sends you here on earth to be the change. He's not going to come down, or he's not going to do any miracle. You are the miracle that needs to be executed, and you need to take action and be responsible. I absolutely love this book, and it's not just about Nigeria. Only God can save Nigeria. What a myth. It's a great book. Just put your name. Only God can save you, your name. What a myth. You will really try to take control and know that you are also in control of your life and your decisions. Okay. The dangerous book. Here it is. Stop working for Uncle Sam. I know I've said this all week simply because I know 2 people that read this book and resigned. Okay? A male and a female. I haven't actually read Stop Working for Uncle Sam because I don't work for Uncle Sam anymore. But if you really want to know the meaning of Uncle Sam, have understanding of your responsibility, your task on this earth as well, this is a book for you. And also to see your own self-worth and look at, and there are strategies also in this book to help you to plan your time that you're not going to, when you're going to stop working for Uncle Sam, because it's easier said than done. Seeing a title like this that says Stop Working for Uncle Sam, we've all been brainwashed to believe that, you go to school, you finish, you do well, excellently, and you start working for a big company, earning the big bucks, and without understanding that that's taking our time, that is taking our values away. There's a lot of things that is taken away. So we need to be conscious, and this is a fantastic book to keep you conscious, to know that, you are also supposed to be a creator. This book is the book that reminds me of the relationship between being a creator and a consumer. I think, I know sometimes we do have to work for Uncle Sam. A lot of us have worked for Uncle Sam and still working for Uncle Sam, but it's almost like a consumer mentality. When you realize that you're actually a creator as well, you would also be somebody that is an employer rather than an employee. And even if you're working for somebody, you would also have other people that are working for you on the side. So it's got a lot of ideas, a lot of strategies here in this book that will help you to exit from Uncle Sam without panicking about money, and also to be yourself, Uncle Sam, in some ways. Okay? All right. We have here How to Become a Developed Nation Through the Dignity of Labor. This book I find very interesting because it's how to become a developed nation. It's not just about a nation, it's also how to become a developed person, me, you, through the dignity of labor. I really, before I knew Dr. Sunday, I didn't see much dignity in labor, but I quickly understood that there's a lot of dignity in labor and I need to apply myself very well. So this book is a great book. Get this. I think also it will be a good one to give somebody for Christmas. So Dr. Sunday is here. There are more books that I could show you, but I'll just let us get on because there are a lot of content in Dr. Sunday. I always like him to release it so I can get more knowledge and more understanding. So guys, share one more time before we start so that more people can join us. Thank you very much. See you soon.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you. Here we go. I think today is going to be our last day of class on personality. Tomorrow morning, I will probably begin to talk about Nigeria and the Nigerian project, if you are interested in that. If you are not interested in that, then we'll talk on something else. Do you want to know what my plans for Nigeria are?
Yes, please.
Okay. Even though we are from Ghana, South Africa, Ghana. But we should still do it, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, so tomorrow morning, and after, my time tomorrow will probably be for that, so that, I will be able to, so that you have an idea of what we're talking about. Okay, here we go. We continue.
Good. Personalities are people who have taken their time to form in themselves concrete value-based core.
Sorry. The German machine is is giving up after 5 days in Ukraine.
Okay. Personalities are people who have taken their time to form in themselves concrete value-based core of their characters.
Okay, let me help you. Personalities are people who have taken their time to form in themselves concrete value-based core of their characters. I explained that already. They are people of values and virtues. They fight on daily basis to promote and influence their world with their values. That's where we have not explained. Can you believe that phrase? I'm sure you didn't hear it. Can you please read it again?
Personalities are people of values and virtues. They fight on a daily basis to promote and influence their world with their values.
They fight on daily basis to do what?
To promote and influence their world.
To promote and influence their world with their values, with their value systems. Now, that is a mirror for you. A mirror that you could use to apply to yourself. How true is that about you? If not true, no problem. That's why you are here, so that it will become true. So every day, a personality knows where he's going, he knows his content, he knows his value system, and he is living his life in such a way that not just every day, every hour, every minute, he is using that value system to change the world, at least his world. That's why you need systems. That's why you need structures. That's why you need platforms, so that even when you are sleeping, your systems and platform and structures are promoting your values for you. Like, for example, I'm here with you, but you don't even know. It's like you don't even know that I have churches functioning. Services are going on. Meetings are going on. Leadership trainings are going on. And I'm here with you, and you would think I am the only, you are the only people in the world that I bother about. That's why you have to put structures in place, systems in place. And besides that, I have all these books. Probably somewhere, somebody is reading one or two of my books right now. So I'm everywhere. Same with the messages, video, audio. So that is a system. So even when I'm sleeping, every minute somebody is writing to thank me for something or the other, and I'm sleeping. And yet I'm blessing the world. That's what personalities do. They build their lives around blessing people with their value systems. No matter what they're doing, where they are, they have built their lives. If they are doing anything, they are releasing and impacting the world with value system. If they are not doing anything, even where they are not present, even where they have never been, they put a system in place whereby they are releasing their values and virtues to change the world and make the world a better place, even when they are not there. Is that something you would like to do? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what you are doing, Queen Anastasia. That's what she's doing. Why she's here, she has a platform where she's putting notes, messages, notes like, the summaries. And so people who are not watching and who are also not here, they could go back, and she are being influenced, even though she's here, but other people are being touched all over the world through a platform that she has created. And she has like 10 projects going on at the same time. So look at our personalities. Why? Whereas most individuals in our world, they don't even think about other people. They are busy struggling for their own survival. And once you begin to struggle about your own survival and think about yourself, you never get to live. You waste. You waste life. So, personalities have a mission of changing the world around them to reflect their values. Even if your world, the world around you is only 1 square meter by 1 square meter, at least think of influencing it and changing it for the better. Even if the world around you is only your calling, children or women, build a system to make sure that you are changing it one way or the other. That's what personalities do. Personalities want everybody to be like them as it relates to their values, not to be like them like as it relates to Jerry Coilo. Not as it relates to any other thing in the physical, but as it relates to their value systems. Because that's what Hebrews says, that people who have gone before us, that we should look and copy their faith, their values. And that's exactly what Jesus did. If I try to have the same hairstyle as Jesus, I'm not sure it will work out. Because Jesus' hairstyle is something that's uncopyable by African. Next one. Yes, sir. Yes, please.
The first point, yes, please. The first point, it says are people who have taken their time to form in themselves concrete value-based core of their characters. If we're talking here about concrete value-based core to develop or form, it is related to, yeah. It is related to the character or the character is formed and developed before or at the same time that the concrete value-based core is developed as well?
Yeah, it's like I was telling Grace,
Grace?
that there are some value systems or character or patterns that you had before that were positive, that were godly. So you have a list of those. But then there are some that are not totally godly and Christ, or timid, or fear, or inferiority complex, or things that don't really best depict the image of God. So the positive ones you leave them. While you develop and perfect the weak ones and bring in the ideal ones that you have seen in God.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a combination of the two.
Okay, thank you.
Next. The first principle of value that we need to rediscover is this: that all reality hinges on moral foundations. In other words, that this is a moral universe and that there are moral laws of the universe just as abiding as the physical laws. Martin Luther King Jr.
Good, go ahead.
Next. Jesus is our greatest example of personality. He brought the values of the kingdom of God to have a bearing on earth. Moreover, as he was leaving the earth, he charged his disciples with a mission to infect the whole world with those kingdom values.
You see, Jesus didn't say, go and build a church. Jesus didn't say, go and bring members to church. But you know what pastors are saying today? Go and bring members to church. You show me one place where Jesus said, go and bring members to church. Or one place where God says that. Or maybe one place where Paul says that. You are in trouble. Religion is in trouble with me. So how can you say, but when it comes, Jesus said, go and make disciples of nations, but not go and build churches or go and make people to be members of churches. Because God knows that if he were to tell us that, that's exactly what we are going to be doing. We will have an excuse. Not to release people, but to hold people. So when it comes to church, you know what he said? I will build my church. You don't bother about church. You make disciples of people, I will build my. Because if he had told us to build church, we would have had an argument. Even now that he didn't tell us to do that, still, that's what we are doing. We are not building, we are not discipling nations. And what does it mean by discipling nations? Go into where people are, to their spheres of life, go and infect them with the Spirit of God and with the value systems of the kingdom of God. Make them, influence them such that they will begin to behave like observing those value systems, like Christians will behave in the church. Just disciple them. Let them, bring them back to lifestyle of the kingdom. Reconcile them with the lifestyle of the kingdom. Church, no church, I will build my church. But we made such a big deal about church that we forgot about what Jesus said about making disciples of, not in the, he didn't say go and make disciples of members. There is nowhere Jesus said go and make disciples of members. In fact, he didn't even say go and make disciples of converts. He said nations. Why? Because value systems are more important to shape nations and culture than just shaping. So it's a holistic. Nation is both the individual and their lifestyle, their values, their value systems, their cultures. Go and change their culture. They are disciple their cultures. Go and change their lifestyle, their worldview. It's a holistic thing, nation. But what we are doing today is that we save the individual and disciple the individual, living the culture alone, living the lifestyle alone. So you change the man, but the culture didn't change, and that's why you get Nigeria. 80 million Christians and nothing changes. Because we are not discipling the nation. We are discipling our members. So go ahead.
Next. That is the life we are all called to live.
Read the previous something before.
Jesus is our greatest example of personality. He brought the values of the kingdom of God to have a bearing on earth. Moreover, as he was leaving the earth, he charged his disciples with a mission to infect the whole world with those kingdom values.
You see, we must know that it is more important for people to live by kingdom values than to be religious. Right now, what we have succeeded in doing is to make people religious, not to abide by the values and that Jesus had taught. But what he said is that teaching them to observe those value systems. He is more concerned about people observing the values that he brought than in being religious. But what we have done is that we have become experts in making people religious than in observing value systems. I don't know if people are getting the difference. So people, therefore, churches are being populated with religious people who can sing. This is the day, hallelujah, and making steps and moves. So those, we are experts in that now. Bringing people to places where we brainwash them to become religious. But we don't teach them to observe. We don't change their lifestyle and their value systems. And he said, go change their lifestyle and value systems. If you could change their value system, that's what you need. You just need to disciple the nation, that including disciple the people, change their lifestyle, change their value system. Once people's lifestyle and value system is changed, they are reconciled with the kingdom lifestyle, the kingdom standard of living. That is superior than making them religious in the church. Is superior to making them religious in the church. Change their lifestyle. Let them embrace the kingdom lifestyle. Let them be reconciled to the lifestyle of the kingdom. If they can live the lifestyle of the kingdom, that's better than them being churchgoers and being religious that go out of the church and still live a horrible lifestyle. That's how the world is being changed. That's how the gospel of the kingdom comes over places. Okay, go ahead.
Next. That is the life we are all called to live. A life of impact, a life of virtues, a life that makes a difference. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations.
That's it right there.
Baptizing them.
Can you press it again, please? Hey. Ah. See me see trouble. You need to make this quotation come. That's what I was saying you should press. You are going back. It's like somebody is writing you on SMS message there. How can you be going to text messaging on me? You should be looking here, not in your device. Please, let's go ahead.
Matthew 28, verses 19 to 20. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things that I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. Amen.
Yep. You say to observe. The key there is that make disciples not of individuals only, but of nations. Nations include individuals, their lifestyle, their culture. And then the key thing to do that is that they will observe. That's the goal. Not that they will become church members. They will observe by what I've taught them. And what has it taught them? Kingdom values. Okay, go ahead.
Mere mortals may not even know what it means to have a value system. Mere mortals live based on what they learn from their parents and their immediate environment. Mere mortals don't have explanations for most of their actions. Mere mortals do things because that is what every other person does around them.
Or that's what they feel at this moment. They are not, their actions are not being dictated by a higher value, by their value systems, by their belief system, by their goals, by their vision, by heaven.
Mere mortals follow.
I think you should make some coffee for Pastor.
I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, I'm not too convinced about that. Okay, maybe not coffee. Give him some chocolate, some sweet stuff.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
You got some Tic Tac? Okay. Let him be eating that while I.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Mere mortals do things because that is what every other person does around them. Mere mortals follow patterns that they did not design. Mere mortals repeat patterns that were not made up by them. Mere mortals repeat mistakes of the ancient.
You got that? Very sad lifestyle. But that sad lifestyle, that's how most people in our world live today. Can you read them slowly, one by one?
Mere mortals may not even know what it means to have a value system.
Stop. Do you think a lot of people in the world have heard what is value system? They just exist. They don't even know it. There is something like value system. Like in my country, people don't even talk about value systems. Blame everybody, everything, but they don't talk about value system. The only thing that matters. Next point.
Mere mortals live based on what they learn from their parents and their immediate environment.
How they have been conditioned. You remember what I told Grace? Because Grace, if she doesn't know this thing we are talking, she will believe and she is ready to fight that I am Grace. But I just proved to you that if that same Grace were to be brought up in Los Angeles or in Germany, Cole, it will be totally different. That's why she now has to find herself and define herself, give birth to her life. Everybody needs to do it. Otherwise, you will always be under the influence of the environment and the people that created you into who you are. Because most of the time, what you are reflecting, the life that you are living now, is the life of those people you hate and who don't love you and you don't love. But you are still living their lives, carrying them about. Yeah, because you are a reflection of your mom that you are angry about, and your dad that is, that you don't love, and then your environment, your neighbor, everything that you don't like is what you are carrying about in your body and in your head as well. Even though you are complaining about them. That's why everybody must stop to give birth to himself. That's the most noble challenge for everyone. Yep.
Mere mortals don't have explanations for most of their actions.
Most people just think, I feel like doing it. I feel like. People are not, but we are not supposed to be living by what we feel. We are supposed to be living by the dictates. We are supposed to be slaves to three things. Who remember those three things? We are supposed to be slaves to God and be here just implementing the desires and will of God. So you are not supposed to be doing things that you cannot explain. You are just somebody that is here to live out the will and purpose of God, and then your calling, and truth. Okay, go ahead.
Mere mortals do things because that is what every other person does around them.
So instead of, doing things because that is the order of God, that is the will of God, or because that is what you are called to do, or because that is what the truth says. We do it because that's what we see around. That's what everybody else does. You see the way dichotomy, what a difference, dichotomy from how life is supposed to be lived, how life is supposed to function, and what is obtainable in real science, in real life.
Mere mortals follow patterns that they did not design.
You see, people, they hate design those things. Like my country, everybody hates the politicians. But the pattern they follow is exactly what those politicians are giving them. The school they went to, the television they watch, everything. Go ahead.
Mere mortals repeat patterns that were not made up by them.
You see?
Mere mortals repeat mistakes of the ancients.
That's why they will repeat the mistakes, because they are repeating and living out the patterns that were, shattered to them by the same people they complain and hate. So they are conditioned to repeat it. That's why most countries, when God wants to do a revolution, he brings somebody from another culture, in most instances. Or people who are in that country who have been able to remodel and refashion themselves. That's why concerning Nigeria now, everybody is surprised how I know the things I'm talking about, because God had to take me out so that I would not have been conditioned so that I could go back to address the things on ground. Because if I had been there, I would just have been repeating the same Asian parts, that's all. Yep.
Next. Personalities have God's passion, that the values of the kingdom of God would become the values of every person on the earth.
You understand why? Because we live for God's priority and for his values. Yep.
They want people to cease being biomasses, but rather become people of core value systems.
You see, personalities are passionate about changing people, changing other people from just living by instincts and public opinion, and being biomasses into being personalities. Personalities want to help every other person live right, live by the agenda of God, by their calling and by the truth.
Next. Values aren't bosses. They are not supposed to get you anywhere. They are supposed to define who you are.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You don't use values, you live values. Value systems is not just something you take advantage of. It's not transactional, it is transformational. Can you read that again?
Values aren't bosses. They are not supposed to get you anywhere. They are supposed to define who you are.
Yeah. Value systems, they are not buses. They are not transportation to be used to get to somewhere. But that's how people are using God. That's what people are doing with religion. They go to church to get something. They go to God to get something. But they are not going there to be transformed, to be defined by God. Go ahead.
Next. Our lives must reflect our values, our source, our destination. Since God is our source and heaven our destination, it only makes sense to live for the values of the kingdom of God.
Beautiful. You want to see that again?
Our lives must reflect our values, our source, our destination. Since God is our source and heaven our destination.
I will do it. I will say, our lives must reflect our values. Think about that. What is our values? Where do our values come from? From there. You people are getting it now. Yes. Our lives must reflect our values, which is coming from what he has taught us. Everything I've taught you. To observe everything I've taught you, Those are heavenly values. Our source. Where is our source? God. We are from God. We are made in his image and his likeness. That's why we are copycats. And our destination, where is our destination? heaven. You see? That's why everything must always be viewed from that perspective. Thy will be done on earth as it is in. Everything is connected to heaven. Okay?
Our lives must reflect our values, our source, our destination. Since God is our source and heaven our destination, it only makes sense to live for the values of the kingdom of God.
It's only logical. It's only logical. Yep.
Next. It's not hard to make decisions when you know what your values are. Roy, this.
You see? Life becomes easier because you know what you want, where you are going, and what. Now, we're not producer at creator, Pierre Duver. At creator, you should bullshit. Go ahead.
Next. Quality number 10. A personality is willing to die for his beliefs.
Only Arabs are willing to die now. Christians don't know these things.
If you've got nothing.
In France, they are dying. They are dying. But the French people are running away when they are dying. Because they don't have values. They are running away. And these Arabs are killing them. Okay?
If you've got nothing worth dying for, you've got nothing worth living for. Martin Luther King Jr.
Think about that. If you don't have anything you are ready to die for, that's how personalities think, you see. That's why they are not afraid of death. That's why they are always looking at projects and at, challenges that will even cost them their lives. Because then they see that they are living a worthwhile life. So if you are not living for something, or you are not right now engaged with something that demands the sacrifice of your life, you have not yet found the purpose of life. You don't deserve to live. So people tell me all the time, Nigeria, Pastor Sunday, what you are doing with this Nigeria is death, or they can kill you, and I'm always excited. Yes. They don't know they are giving me the best of compliments. It means that I've been able to find something to die for, which means then I deserve to live. So if there is nothing you are doing that could cost you your life, you have valued yourself too low. Even if they will not kill you, but be willing to lay it down. That is your life down. Be willing to sacrifice your life in the process. Then, life has visited you. Then you deserve to live. Can you read it again?
If you've got nothing worth dying for, you've got nothing worth living for. Martin Luther King Jr.
Because your life could only be measured by something more than the visible. And anything more than the visible is eternal. And anything eternal is invisible. So, what you are living for or willing to die for means it's bigger than you and bigger than everything else, making you to be bigger than anything else visible. So it's a great wisdom. It's a great wisdom. Yeah, go ahead.
Real personalities are those who are no more afraid of dying. Only those who are ready to die make a difference in their world. They might be criticized, loved, or hated, but they leave their mark in the sand of history.
Because you are ready to give your life for something worthwhile. So you never be afraid of death. You are rather looking for death. Beautiful, beautiful. That's what Paul was saying. He was looking for death. It's better for me to go. But I will stay with you because it's good for you, but for me, it's better to go. Okay, can we continue?
Personalities, they are obsessed with their beliefs. Personalities would rather give their lives in exchange for it, rather than suffer a failure of their ideals.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Okay?
But those who
Who
are
are
afraid
afraid.
of losing their lives eventually will
Lose
lose
it.
it. I will fear no evil, for you are with me.
Because Jesus said, if you want to keep your life, you lose it. But if you are ready to lose it, then you keep it. Right?
Jesus says, whenever you are ready to sacrifice something for his purpose, you keep it. But when you are too stingy to let go, you lose it. Get busy living or get busy dying. Stephen King.
Because you are dying one way or the other anyway. So how do you understand that phrase? Who understands that phrase?
You're not living the same thing as
Martin Luther
yes, yes.
King.
If you're not ready to live for anything, then you are just dying. So it's your whole life has to be worth living for something bigger than you. If you're not doing that, then you are jolly well as good as not being here. You are dead walking.
I thought this is a little bit different.
Well, for me, means that get busy living or get busy dying means produce. Get busy living or get busy dying, but get busy doing something.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I feel like since we're getting older, we're in a sense like dying, but we're also alive, so we're living. So we either choose to do something positive or you can live. It's like the glass is half full or half empty kind of ideology. Like, as I'm here right now, I'm dying because I'm getting older every minute, every second, but I'm still living at the same time. So I would have to, I guess, choose to have a purpose, or I can't really like.
Why is the living or dying there?
Well, how I understand it is basically what you've been talking about this whole week. Be a Miyamoto or be a personality.
Okay, explain.
So it's either you are living for mundane things or you are living a life.
Where is
based
that? Where is the mundane thing? Where is the
living? It's the living for survival.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then?
Or you are living for something bigger than you. So you're living a life of purpose. Because it's only when you live a life of purpose or when you find what you're
And
meant.
where is that one?
It's the dying part. No?
Are you sure it's not the opposite?
Oh yeah. Get busy living or get busy dying. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Can you explain it again?
Okay. Get busy living or get busy dying. So it's the other way around, basically. How I explained it, I'm just gonna flip it round. So it's either
Flip
you are
it,
living.
let me hear.
So it's either you are living a life of purpose, which is the living, sorry, or you are busy dying, which is living for mundane things.
Yeah, which is just living for mundane things, being busy, just living for mundane things, you are dying. Or get busy giving out your life, sacrificing your life. That's when you are living. More like what she said. When you are busy giving out your life, that's when you are alive. When you are busy with mundane things, you are dying. But one way or the other, you are dying. But either you are busy dying or you are busy living. Okay.
I'm gonna use a funny phrase from Nigeria.
Okay.
He said, if you lie, you will die. You tell the truth, you will die. So might as well tell the truth and die.
Okay. Okay. You want to say something?
Let me just add a little bit of it. Like in my own understanding, I feel the living is purpose, while dying is job. Like
Very good.
doing job.
Very good. Very good. I think Grace wanted something. Huh? Okay.
Next. The fear of death is the most horrible of all fears. It is this fear that, more than anything else, keeps most people from daring. It is this fear that has created the most paralysis in our world. It is this fear that controls the biggest prison yard where it keeps its captive. It is only due to this fear that we don't have more and more personalities on a daily basis.
You remember we spoke about death, we spoke about fear, right? So, yeah, go ahead.
What is a fear of living? It's being preeminently afraid of dying. It is not doing what you came here to do out of timidity and spinelessness. The antidote is to take full responsibility for yourself, for the time you take up and the space you occupy. If you don't know what you're here to do, then just do some good. Maya Angelo.
So, can you read that again, please?
What is a fear of living? It's being preeminently afraid of dying. It is not doing what you came here to do out of timidity and spinelessness. The antidote is to take full responsibility for yourself, for the time you take up and the space you occupy. If you don't know what you're here to do, then just do some good.
You see? That is, if you don't know your purpose, then just live a meaningful life. Doing some good is just living a meaningful life. But that's the worst option. I mean, not the worst option, but that's better than the worst option, which is just existing. But the best option is to find out what everyone's purpose and then live for that purpose. It is, most Christians just don't know that purpose, so they just try to do some good, which is still a little bit better than not even living at all for anything. Okay?
True personalities have lost the fear of death. As a result, when you are ready to die, you can no more be afraid. The most important key to overcoming the fear of death is dying to self.
I have a book like that, How to Overcome the Fear of Death. Yeah, so I have a book. I don't think it's here now, but it's on Amazon, How to Overcome the Fear of Death. So that's a whole book on its own. Okay, go ahead.
Next. If you realize that all things change, there is nothing you will try to hold on to. If you are not afraid of dying, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Lao Tzu.
You see? Because if you are not afraid of dying, then you will dare to do something. You will dare and be bold enough to step out. Yep.
I would advise you to count yourself as dead, to set yourself free from the clutches of its fear.
So just see yourself as dead already anyway. That's how to overcome death.
I would advise you to count yourself as dead, to set yourself free from the clutches of its fear, so you can be free to do more exploits for God and his kingdom. Philippians 1:21. For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain.
Yeah.
Quality number 11. Personalities create leverages by which they move their world.
You understand that? Anyway, he will soon understand it.
Personalities are strategic in their line of thinking and actions. Personalities create a leverage point for themselves, from where they change their world and the world around them. Personalities don't rely on their charismas and their petty gifts. Charismas take their time to build and construct a long enough. Personalities take their time to build and construct a long enough leverage, which later provides the necessary leverage to accomplish their goals. Is that lever or leverage? Lever. I thought maybe it was a mistake. I take it again. I thought it was a mistake. So that was I didn't. Personalities take their time to build and construct a long enough lever, which later provides the necessary leverage to accomplish their goals.
No.
I didn't finish here. Personalities invest themselves in establishing fulcrums, which they could later fall back on when the going gets tough. Personalities make enough preparations not to give themselves any excuse or chances of failure.
Okay, do you know what we are talking about here? Need explanation? Okay. What was the name of this great mathematician? Archimedes? Archimedes. We have him somewhere here. Archimedes. Yeah. So Archimedes said, give me a point of a lever point or whatever, or a pivotal point, and I will change the world. So give me, okay, you remember the thing he drew, eh? You know, when there is this long lever, or come from, and give me the point where I could press it, and I will change the whole world, right? So he's trying to say, give me a point of leverage. Give me a point of leverage, and from that point of leverage, I will change the world. So what does that mean? Every man that wants to change the world needs some leverages. You need to cultivate for yourself a point of leverage. That which will be the starting point or the point of action from where you know that is your launching pad to being able to turn things around. For example, let's say you have, can I have you? How to create that? Let me just show you how to create that. I will tell you to make a list of your best gifts, abilities, and potentials. So let's say you make a list of 10 skills, and all of you can write that too. Make a list of the best things you can do. The things that could become a leverage to you and for you. So you make a list of 10 things that you could be good in or you are best in. And then, out of that 10 things that you are good in, find the topmost 3 that if you develop them, that it will make you, if not the very best in the world, then one of the best in the world. Then out of that 3, find 1 or 2 that you know absolutely you could develop to be better than everybody else. Now, that doesn't mean that you will be better than everybody else, but at least give yourself the best shot or your best shot. That's how to develop a leverage point, a lever. So now that you have 10, out of 10, you've got the top 3 where you're so good in. Then out of the 3, you have 1 or 2 where you know you are the best. So now, a leverage point is therefore something where you are so good in that you are now, you make yourself indispensable. You are so good in it that everybody needs you. You are so good in it that without you, people don't function. The people are not the same, or the world around are not the same. It's not the same. So you are inevitable. You are indispensable. Once you get to that point, that is your leverage point. It means you can press a button and everybody will notice a button is pressed. That's what's called a leverage point. So, for example, so you make yourself indispensable. You make, for example, Pastor Sunday, even though there are so few people who come to listen to me, as we can see, about 200 people listening right now. But I've made myself so valuable. I've added so much value to myself that anybody that I block or that dares to say I'm angry at DSA, I will never listen to him again. That person has caused himself. You don't need Satan to cause you. You don't need Satan. You don't need witch and wizard. You have become your own witch and wizard. Because for you to say you boycott Pastor Sunday, it's like boycotting life. I don't know if you get it. It's like, because the things you will know and you will learn from Pastor Sunday, there is guarantee. I guarantee you that you can still learn those things, but for you to learn them, you have to find another 100 or 1,000 people to learn from. You get it? So you cannot find any one single source where you learn all those things. Because I've made myself indispensable. I've built a leverage of myself. But then I've only not just built a leverage of myself in the area of church, but I've also made myself indispensable in any other area you want. Especially when it pertains to life. So for you to say, I don't want to listen to this guy, is crazy. Just pray to God that you will not know what you are losing. Because by the time it dawns on you what you are losing, you will want to go and hang yourself. Because it's just impossible for you to so every one of us can make ourselves to be so indispensable. It's not a pride though. It's just you developing yourself. So you could actually develop yourself. So in my own case, I've not just built myself like that in one area. Like I said, get 10, then develop 1. But so that's what I did. I got 10, then I developed 1, then 2, then 3. For example, my books. You might not read my books, or in fact, few people are reading my books. But once you know what you are losing, once you read 1, 2, and you will discover that, So things like this are here. I've made myself indispensable. For you to say you will never read my book, it's like cursing yourself. Because you shut yourself out of so many opportunities in fact. So I don't believe that you can only have one point of leverage. One leverage point. I think you can have 2, 3, 4, 5. For example, I don't call myself a financial guru or a teacher in finances, but believe me, what I know, even though I don't even flaunt it, I just done one training, I just live it, I wrote a book. But what I know, if you find 100 people that know what I know in the world, it will be difficult for you to find. In finances. Even though I don't even count myself as I don't even count it as my area. Or like writing books, for example. I've written 300 books, but I'm still going to write 1,000, and I don't even see it as my area as well. But I've learned the secret of leveraging, of lever, of Archimedes. What do we call it in English? We call it Archimedes in Russian. Archimedes. I've learned the secret of Archimedes. I have gotten that center, that focal point. I have gotten that fulcrum. I've gotten that lever. I have learned the secret. So, for example, I don't see myself as, I saw you get 10, then develop 3, or develop 1. Not at least 1. Be so good that you are indispensable there. But then once you have done 1, don't just say, hey, I've arrived now. Hey, yeah, there. Add to that one, the next one. Then the next one. That's what I've done. So, for example, in this country right now, I built a church. That's just, for me, I'm not a big church person. But it's just a point of leverage. It's my platform. So in this country now, the church has made me so visible, so indispensable, that you go to village, town, rich, poor, there's nobody who said they can afford to don't know who Pastor Sunday Adelaja is. Not just in this country, in the next 15 or 20 or 30 countries around. Because I built one leverage center. But I did my job well. Because I built it, I became the best in the world, in Europe at least. So I do my job well. But that's just one point of leverage. But I don't stop there. I say I'm a pastor, and that's my calling. I'm sitting down. Because that's what people do. They say I'm a pastor. So then they will bring bodyguards and put it here and put it here. And then and then buy limousine. And be driving them around. I said, I'm a pastor. Why? I build the biggest churches. So they build one leverage, one point of something, and build a monument around it like they keep put themselves inside money. No. But that's not what you are supposed to do. Build leverages, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that you are so indispensable. So give me one center. Give me, point of, a pivotal point. Give me one point of leverage, and I will change the world. So each one that you have built like that, you can use each one to turn the world around. So with my church, just one leverage, everybody knows Pastor Sunday Adelaja just because of that one leverage. Not just in Ukraine. All over the world. Oh, he's the one that has the biggest church in Europe. Oh, he's the one that has all the white people in the church. Oh, it's just one leverage point. Now I stopped even talking about that. I left it. Then I started writing books. Just last year, 2015, I started writing books in English. I was not writing books in English. Only one I wrote, Churchship. And then the other ones we translated for Pastoring Without It from Russian only. But I just wrote one in English. Just last year, I started writing. 2015. I wrote 5 or so. But last year I started writing this year. No, that's last year I wrote that one, then this year. So just 2 years I've started writing books in English. But my books, you see how many there are there? This is not even make a common for road. This is not even 10% of the ones I have in English already. And each one of these books, the average page of my books is 300 pages. And each one of these books, you ask people in anesthesia to tell you what each one of these books means. Just started 2 years ago. But in this country, I've sold over 1 million books. That's in Russian language. But in English, I'm just starting. I'm just warming up. That's another leverage I'm building. Then I write articles. I have 500 articles written. Tell me how many bloggers have written their own, not the one they copy from places, but their own. And you know the average letters of my articles? 10,000 words. So when I decided to begin to publish my articles, and I bring them one article, all of them are these are professional writers, so these are newspaper journalists. They say, no, this one is too much. I said, what do you need? I thought they would say it's too small. They said, no, we only need 1,000 words. And I have 10,000 words. The smallest I have ever wrote is 5,000 words. Because I do everything quality, you see. So one of my article, they say, we need 10 weeks to release this. So I have 500 of those. You don't even know I write articles. Then I have 500 of these kind of slides. I do slides like this. Then if you go to my YouTube page, you will discover that I have some content there as well. I think I have some. I think I have some volume there as well. I have some volume there. And if that's some volume that I'm talking about, at least it will be 3,000. So, but if I say 3,000, you might not know what it means. So let me explain to you what 3,000 messages means. If it is one hour alone, just 1 hour a piece. But you know my own messages that you are seeing on that YouTube, they are not always 1 hour.
3 hours.
But let's take the one out of the So even if we are going to say in the average they are 1 hour each. All those my messages on YouTube. Now, 3,000 messages. You know what it means is, if I were to be preaching 1 hour of them, only, not 3, not even 2, 1. If I'm preaching 1 hour a week, every Sunday, I don't miss Sunday at all. I don't get sick, I don't travel. Just I'm present in every Sunday service. And I'm preaching every Sunday, I never miss one. I will need 60 years to preach all those. Just preach, not missing any Sunday. It will be 60 years before I could preach the amount of messages that I have there waiting. That's why I say I have some content there too. It's enough for you. It will last you about 60 years. You are not old enough. That's if you can't eat from the day you were born and you are listening to it with these 60 years. So you are not old enough to even be. That's if we are not counting it that you started listening from 10 years old though. Let's say you start listening from the day one. It is when you are 60 you should report to me that you need some more. That's why you say you are not old enough yet. She didn't get it at first. I thought I should explain. That's a leverage right there. So can you imagine that content is there that will last any human being if he just goes to church every once a week for you need the next 60 years to just listen at least one time, 1 hour. And some of them are more than 1 hour. That's if once a week. Because that's what standard every Sunday's message. So you could be a pastor. I mean, most pastors don't even preach for 60 years in every Sunday. And that is and I started that content 2016 to put them there. See how I work. And at that same time, I've writing all these books. So for me, even if I don't say, let's remove the Embassy of God Church, I still have enough leverage to change my world through the books alone. Let's now say, let's remove the books. I still have enough leverage to change the world just through YouTube. Let's now say we remove the YouTube too, I don't have it. I still have enough leverage to change the world through my articles, because you don't even know about the articles yet. I've not even started working on the beginning to the religious ones yet. Huh? And that's why you are here now. That's why you are here. So that is what is called leverages. So every one of us must have at least one like that. One point that you have developed so strongly. But for me, those are not even my leverages. My greatest leverage is me. I've developed in myself the personality of Christ. What I've been able to develop, what I've been able to form in myself is more powerful for me than every other of those. Because all of those things come from what I've been able to develop and form here. So for me, I'm more happier with the content. So you could take me right now and remove me from everything I've done and drop me in a jungle somewhere. And I will still reproduce every other thing because it's all here. That's important. Yeah, so you yourself become the leverage. So you will not need to be running after crowd, members, tithe and offering. You don't need anything to inform you, to add to you, to make you. You are satisfied. You are yourself. Everything is coming from you, from in there, not from what somebody gives you or says to you. Or no, I don't know if you are getting it. Yeah. So that's the greatest leverage. Because I've been doing 20 years, just 20 years. For 20 years, I've been doing solitude every month. So for me, that is the greatest treasure. I mean, the thing that I get from that, what I've been able to build inside as a result of that, that is the greatest leverage. So that's what, now let's read that page. Now you understand it better, I hope. Can we put it on now? That we have to, is it this place? Yes. Okay.
Personalities are strategic in their line of thinking and actions. Personalities create a leverage point for themselves, from where they change their world.
You see, from where?
Around them.
From where? It's from that place you change the world, your world and the world around you. From that point of leverage, from that leverage point that you have built. Yeah. So let's say that leverage point is, I didn't even mention live broadcast. Every day I do. That is another one. I'm just sitting down here, I'm talking every day. That is creating a buzz. It's creating a buzz. That is another leverage. I'm not even going anywhere, just talking. That's another leverage. So from wherever that leverage is, from whatever it is, I've not even mentioned money yet, you see. I didn't mention financial anything. I didn't mention my account. I didn't mention this house alone, these 2 houses alone costing $4 million US. I didn't even mention that. I didn't even mention the building of the church. I'm just talking to you, building leverages without even money, without even talking money. You say you've made yourself so valuable without even mentioning money. You are already ready to change the world. That one is beautiful. Okay, can we
Personalities don't rely on their charismas and their petty gifts. Personalities.
Some people, they just live by that. Oh, it's called a packaging. You just go and do some jerry coil and do some suits. That's shame. That is easy, man. And then you go and be doing something, go do miracle, go with testimony, and go to do. You are exploiting God. What God does, you use that as your own. Those are just cheap stuff. So if the miracle don't come anymore, you are useless. Or if a bigger miracle worker comes, that's it. It takes the day. It carries your crowd. So you don't just rely on charisma and petty stuff like that. And that's why all those leaders in Nigeria, they're all manipulating. Stage miracle because they want to keep on powerful. They don't have the content. So they have to stage miracle, do some prophecies, and because they want to still keep on being relevant. And since people are gullible, you have to keep on deceiving them all the time. Because they don't know these things. They don't build quality. They don't build leverage. And it's so sad. So they are now using deception as the main instrument. Yeah, please.
Personalities take their time to build and construct a long enough lever, which later provides the necessary leverage to accomplish their goals. Personalities invest themselves in establishing fulcrums, which they could later fall back on when the going gets tough. Personalities make enough preparations not to give themselves any excuse or chances of failure.
And you also know that, do you know that I also do inventions? You saw the film, the little film I did about innovation and inventions. We don't even talk about those yet. And do you know that my greatest strength really is national transformation? You've not even seen that yet, that side of me yet. So I have those 10 areas that are super developed. But everybody, at least, who wants to be a personality must have one, where everybody will recognize you that you cannot be pushed aside. You are inevitable. You are indispensable. But because, unfortunately, in Christianity today, people just do things anyhow. They don't try to be the best. They just do good enough. Yeah.
Victorious warriors win first and then go to war.
You see, you win first in the secret. You win first inside in the room before going to war proper, you say. Develop yourself, pay the price. Yeah, say that again.
Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. So, see.
I mean, it's going to be tough for you in the battlefield, I bet you that one. Yeah, like Nnamdi Kanu, yeah, it's so sad. Yeah.
Choose to become a personality that makes a difference in your world. Develop some of your gifts to the point that they will become your footholds.
You see? Develop your gifts so well that they will become your footstool that you stand on.
Become so good in something.
You see?
So much that even your enemies would acknowledge your expertise.
You getting it? Yeah, yeah.
Create for yourself a pivotal.
And when I look at our pastors in Africa, I don't see that. I see miracles. They're using miracles as the only thing they've got. But miracles doesn't have anything to do with them. It's what God doing miracles. Yeah, it's like there's no content here. And that's why, we must, raise up this new generation that will have this idea and this understanding. Yep.
Choose for yourself a pivotal point. Better still, several from where you could impose your ideals on your generation.
Yeah, and what I've seen in Africa, in Nigeria, that is really breaking my heart, is that these young people, especially the unbelievers, even believers, they are trying to get relevance and popularity. I mean, if you see what they are using as their leverages, I mean, mundane things. Some of them are dancing, for example. I mean, what's that? I mean, just, not kind of professional, not ballet dance, not kind of professional dance, not kind of, presentable dance or classic or something. But this, some shaking or some funny, ridiculous, dehumanizing kind of stuff. That's what they're doing. I mean, some people are just jumping around singing and, just things that border on just emotions, feelings, instant gratification of joy, just stirring up feelings. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then the rest of them want to be pastors, everybody. I mean, as if, okay, even if you want to be pastors, what are the skills? I'm a pastor. But see all the list that I still have. What? Does that stop you from developing yourself and becoming experts and good in some things? I don't know who is teaching them. Where are they getting their value system from? It's like nobody is even teaching value system. It's like no direction. Everybody just, I mean, it's sad. I need to go to Africa fast. You know, I think I am needed there because even though they are going to say, okay, why are you talking about this as if you are the only one who knows? But should I be quiet because I know? Am I at fault that I don't blame me that I know. I don't know why you don't know. So should I just be quiet so that you don't think that, you know, that you are the only one that knows? So I should just pretend that I don't know and deny that I know? Well, I'm still thinking about that. But I think it's sad that nobody is teaching our people these things. And they're just teaching us religion. Not God, though. Not relationship with God. But religion. Sad. We must change the narratives. We must change the narratives. We must change the narratives. Let's bring back content. Yeah. Not just emotions and... Okay, here we go.
Next. Your foothold. Your foothold could be a large support base. Your foothold could be a large support base that is so large and strong that you become indestructible.
You see, so you could be influencing and build that support base. Yeah.
That is where God has helped me in Ukraine, because our church has become so large and influential that it is almost impossible to stop it.
Yeah. And that's the thing you have to give credit to Redeemed for. Redeemed. That's a church in Nigeria. I mean, they've been able to do that one thing very well. I mean, they are everywhere. They've made themselves so indispensable such that even the government of Nigeria can't do anything against them. Even when they are doing something wrong, the government is afraid of correcting them. So they have imposed themselves upon the nation that way. But thank God I'm not in politics, because if I'm there, they are going to say I'm Antichrist for real. Yeah, they don't. They don't. And that's why I was thinking that, you know, they are going to call me Antichrist, because we are going to correct what they're doing. And they're going to say you're against the church, you are Satan's agents and all that. Because if you're having churches in every street and there are no street lights in that street, no road in that street, and you have churches in water, and they have all these churches, and nobody is cleaning anything, everything is just chaotic, then pay me tithe. I mean, pay me tax. Then pay tax to the government. Let the government use it and fix it. But you are taking all the money and you are not fixing anything? Then pay us the tax. We'll fix it. You see? So a lot of order is needed in Nigeria. We need a lot of common sense in our country. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Non-governmental organizations could be spread all over the nation. So due to their activities, you would be able to wield incredible amount of authority.
Yeah, just like in Ukraine here, we have 3,000 NGOs and pressure groups just from this church. And in this church alone, we have 500 members of government and parliament that are coming from this church alone. That's another leverage, you see. When one church, Some people, some churches are not even more than 500. And I'm just talking about politicians alone from the church. It's like a whole church. Okay, go ahead.
A strong financial base, political influence, fame could become a leverage point through which the world can be touched. Next. All men can see these tactics.
At greater, huh?
All men can see these tactics, whereby I conquer. But what none can see is a strategy out of which victory is evolved.
Brilliant. There is tactics, there is strategy. The tactics is what you apply outwardly that everybody can see, but what they don't see are the inward works, invisible works that you do on yourself. Like what we are doing right now. These are the invisible systems we are building in ourselves. That people cannot just, because even though people are watching us, but they don't see what you are going through here and experiencing, that they're just saying, but they are not, that's the strategy. Go ahead.
Quality number 12. Personalities are people of zeal. Next. Zeal is a volcano, the peak of which the grass of indecisiveness does not grow. Khalil Gibran.
Zeal is a volcano, the peak of which the grass of indecisiveness does not grow. So zeal is tied to decision, determination. So if you are indecisive, if you are not a determined person, you will not have zeal. Zeal answers to strong determination. Okay.
The zeal of personalities. Passion of personalities is crazy. It is this zeal that propels them into more and more ventures. It is thanks to this zeal that they cannot sit idle. It is the zeal that makes them to be unable to be indifferent.
Zeal. Personalities have contagious zeal. Uh-huh.
It is due to this zeal that they cannot afford to be wasted. This zeal equates life. Without it, life itself loses meaning.
You see?
The reason why many people in our world today are groaning in depression is because they lack this. Okay, I couldn't say that last line. They lack this revolutionary zeal of personalities. The volume of your impact is measured by the direction of your movements. The passion with which you inspire and the attitudes by which you make an influence. Israel Moore. Jesus accomplished his feat on the earth only thanks to the zeal he had. Obadiah 1:21. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's.
Saviors. Those are personalities, really. They will come from Zion, and they will judge all those spheres of life. The Mount of Zion. I mean, Esau. The valleys of Esau. Okay?
Zeal. Zeal gives birth to saviors, according to this verse above. It is zeal that gives birth to personalities, and personalities become a form of savior to their generations. Without this zeal, no one accomplishes much on the earth. It is only with zeal we could affect the world and make it a better place. Even our Lord Jesus Christ was only able to become the Savior he was born to be, thanks to that same virtue, zeal.
The only place today in our churches where zeal is manifested is in praise and worship dances, in steps. That zeal that they are supposed to be using in conquering the field, the spheres of influence, They are putting it in emotions and dancing on the floor. I mean, everything is just misdirected in churches these days. Okay, go ahead.
Next. Of the greatness, maybe this is the verse.
Where is the verse?
Okay. Isaiah 9, verse 7. Of the greatness of his governments and peace, there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty
We accomplish this. You see, that is the propeller. That's like the petrol of the fuel. The zeal is the fuel for the history makers, for the personalities. The zeal of the Lord will come. Even for Jesus, he needed that zeal. That's the propeller. That's what is pushing you forward.
Next. Unfortunately, many people prefer just to have a quiet and peaceful life.
They don't need zeal then.
Because of that, they are afraid of getting involved in anything that would disrupt their family. We need to be hot to gain the approval of the Lord Jesus Christ. Lukewarmness is a sign of death in this kingdom.
And the church is full of lukewarm people. Apart from when it comes to dancing and steps. And tithe and offering, yeah.
Revelation 3, 15 to 16. I know your deeds, that you are neither cold nor hot. I wish that you were cold or hot. So because you are lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth.
Zeal. God doesn't value people who don't have it. He spits them out of his mouth. Because those zeal is necessary to propel you to your promised land. Go ahead. That's it. Put on the light. Congratulations to you. I told you I would try and finish. Then tomorrow we'll be talking about Nigeria. But before we go, I will need to hear you out. What is happening to you? What are you getting? I know you are tired. I'm pitying Grace like crazy. Yeah, because it's a new experience for you. I can understand. It's a new experience. Ravel also is I can't pronounce your name. Ravel? Ravel is also tired. But I will need you people to stand up and tell us what you are feeling, what's going on through you. Sister Bisola, maybe you try. Abiola, will you try? What's happening? What's going on in your emotions, in your mind? You will come later. Okay. Who wants to be the... Okay. He is young. He has energy.
Yeah, I think that there's so much information, so much content, so much new things that we're coming from you. So I think I need to process a lot. I made a lot of notes.
You know why we are talking about solitude after getting back?
Yeah, I really need to just get back in my notes and maybe watch the whole HMT over and over again until it sinks in, you know. So, but I came in thinking, oh, I will just get a regular sermon and hearing things I already know, but this was something else. This was really, I sometimes had to put my laptop away and just think about what you were saying and looking up some words just to know what you're meaning. So this is really a great experience, and I'll be back. Really, I'll be back to have some more. Really.
You seem to be energetic.
me too, it's been overwhelming. There's loads of information, new information. Even some of well, some of the things that I even think I know is being challenged, and loads of things. I mean, this afternoon with Dr. Aram, I was telling him I've got loads of stuff at home, and I've been singing it. I've been procrastinating. I want to trade on eBay. I want to trade on Amazon. I have all the things I need to do it, but I was just procrastinating year after year after year after year. So there's so many things. I'm literally sitting on loads of finance at home, and so I have so many things to. I can't even wait. And his Dr. Aram's film about the state of the black man. That's one of the things that I live for. I mean, I fight. I'm a freedom fighter. I'm an injustice fighter. That's what I've done all my life. So I mean, I've been penning. I'm going to do something similar to arise, continent of Africa, arise. The black man, wake up. It's time for us to wake up. So it's wonderful. But I don't think I'll be able to come in January because I'm going to Nigeria the whole of December. I arrived back in UK on the 1st.
I have a book on how the blacks brought civilization to Europe. Please write Igor that let us release that book as fast as possible. What's wrong? Why is he not releasing all the books? All the books, let him release them. I have all the books ready. I don't know why he's taking his time. Yeah.
So I'm so grateful that I came. And I know that nothing happens by accident. I know this is God ordained for me to be here. Because I only connected with you in August when you asked the Nigerian pastors to view you. And that was when I viewed. And immediately I saw the HMT. I said, well, I got to go to this. I have got to go to this. Hallelujah.
But you saw the Nigerian, me challenging and inviting Nigerian pastors to watch, but many of them got mad.
Well, like I said, I mean, you still think that they are Christians. I believe that they are Luciferians. So they are not Christians. They are not Christians. So if we look at them as if they are Christians, then we can pardon them for challenging you. But if they are in direct opposite to the kingdom of God, then we need to be asking God to take the heart of stone out of them, put a heart of flesh, let the Holy Spirit jump on it and start to do the repair work in Africa and in all those churches. Yes, bon. Not wuru.
Well, many pastors do actually come up on stage and they will call him sometimes and say, I'm becoming born again. Then people actually call him to say that. Yeah.
I know.
Okay, who is the next person to talk?
Who wants to give their review?
Okay.
Wow, this has been an eye-opener, revitalizing, renewal, empowerment. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on. My eyes is open wide to see. I had a closed mind, but my eyes is open wide to see bigger, to see further, to see the possibility of what God wants to do. Sorry. To see the possibility of what God wants to do in these last days, to see the possibility of a nation changing, to see a possibility of us as black people rising and taking our place in this time in history. So like I told Pastor today that my coming here was, I didn't plan to come here. My plan was to come all next year because I have so much things going on.
November.
I wanted to come next November.
Not even April. Not even January. It would have just been.
I want to come next November, and then the Lord just told me that you need to go this November, and God worked everything out from the flight to everything was just worked out. I don't know. I mean, I've never asked people, and they just respond like that. And I'm grateful for God. I'm here. I will be back, probably most likely in April. Thank God for the life of DSA, for what God has just put inside him. And I've never read books like that before. I mean, it's been great. That's all I can say. I read two. I couldn't. I mean, two and a half. 2.5 in what, 5 days? I think I read. I try to read one a month, but sometimes one every 2 months. But it's been great.
In 5 days.
In 5 days. So it's been challenging physically, but I believe I needed it.
But then you now know But then you now know for sure that you can do it.
Yes.
Because if you are able to read 2 books in 5 days, that means you can read 1 book a week.
Yes.
So it's about knowing your possibility.
Yes.
And for you to know that, no, this is possible for you.
Yes.
It's just about you positioning yourself, getting things out of the way, you know, and then knowing that this is what history makers do. And you see, my own challenge is not once a week. I am jumping all over the place that I can do a book one in a day. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
So I was thinking if just everyone who listens to this, or maybe all of your viewers and everyone here, starts applying all of your principles which you are teaching, the whole world will be a better place.
Yes.
And I believe that God has really good time, because in this century we have access to so many information in a
And
like
technology.
a quick time.
Yeah.
Like people wouldn't have that years ago.
Yeah.
The information was there, but it's difficult to get there. So this is really a good time. So make use of what you have learned, and well, apply all these principles in your life, and I believe the whole world will change in a
We
rapid
can
tempo.
change the world.
Yeah, really.
Yes, sir.
Usually.
I communicated with your wife today. you know what? She's been very smart because she's been communicating with me, but she never really mentioned. She's using an acronym or something. So I never really knew that she was his wife. So today, she still didn't mention her name, but she was talking about my husband. I said, okay, who is this now? So, my husband. So I went to their page and said, wow. So I was communicating with her today. She is excited. She's a happy woman already, even without the wife coming back, without the husband coming back here.
When do you get to quality number 10 that talks about not afraid of dying? I breathed very deeply. A personality is not afraid
of death.
Of death. Because we want to stand for the truth. Not afraid of being criticized. You might be hated, you might be loved. He doesn't care. And I know that usually when we hear death is coming, we want to run away. But because of that virtues, that calling upon you, God, that was the message for me there. If I got to that extent, he said, well, today we are going to arrest all of you here in this room. How many of us would not run away, say, or panic, or just begin to piss on the trouser? Well, I don't know him, or they only invited me. I asked myself, assuming that they just sent all the army and they come over here, I said, all of you stand up here, hands up. I don't know DSA, I'm not part of DSA, honestly. And I said, Lord, help me. And this is the fact that we have to face and be ready to say, yes, here I am, Lord. I don't know much about books, but I remember says, coward dies many times before they are dead. So this is why I've been walking the life of this man. That I could be ready to say, if it is death, okay. It's a message for me, maybe for all of us as well. Let's be courageous and say the truth. You might be prayered, you'll be hated anyway. That's the truth. And when she says she's going to Nigeria in December, I know they are going to beat her. People are watching your TV. So they are going to meet you and say, oh, this is one of the disciples. I know you. So don't be afraid. The Lord is with you. Thank you, sir, for the job.
Beautiful.
Hello, kings and queens. You know, I always come from the perspective of Daddy God. The lens I have, I always have the lens of Daddy God. I mean, I have never, ever, ever, ever had an in-depth look into the heart of Daddy God than attending this HMT. To see how he perceives us, okay, as personalities. I mean, we've talked about, we've learned a lot about what it is to be a personality. Now, what we've been taught during these last 4 days is how, these are vivid images of how Daddy God sees us. You see, these are the vivid pictures of how he actually sees. So really, what we've been given here is a strong sense of identity. It will be like, if I can bring it down to childlike level, because you know, I talked about him wanting us to become like children. It will be like him taking us like into a family room, okay? Into his big family room. Every one of us, his children, taking us into his family room.
Picturic.
Yes. And opening a family album and saying that, Grace, this is you. This is your personality. This is you. This is you. This is you. This is you. The real you. Not the one that was defined by where you were born. You know? And it's amazing how his thoughts are so deep, and they're so high, and they're so wide. It's amazing of how his perceptions about us are so pure and so beautiful and so strong and so dynamic and so raw and so true and so real. This is the reality of how he sees us. And, you know, listening to all this, obviously, it's a lot of information. It's a lot, I don't want to use the word information. It's a lot of deep truth. Because don't forget that Daddy God is a deep person. So, obviously, the things he's going to talk about us is going to be very deep. They're going to be very weighty. So, I now see why I feel like we've been given something tangible to hold on to. I feel like we now have a strong sense of purpose. I feel like now our days can be filled with real meaning. Our calendars, our schedules, you know, can be very purposeful because now we've been given all this about us. And what we have left is now to come up to his level and to begin to form this identity that he sees about us. I feel so privileged. Now, let me tell you why I feel so privileged. Now, this goes back to my childhood and all the labels and all the things that were put on me and about, you know, me being a person of average and et cetera, et cetera. But do you know, this training, I feel like I've come to the most specialist, private, top-notch school of Daddy God. That's what it feels like. And I feel like I'm being recompensated for all those years that I was labeled as something else. And I've been chosen amongst all to come to this top-notch private school. Right?
Harvard.
Harvard. That's what I feel like. And I feel so privileged that I'm one of the pupils of this specialist school. That's what it feels like. So Harvard doesn't come any close because Harvard cannot teach this.
No.
They cannot.
I've had graduates of Harvard here on HMT and they said nothing. They said it's close. They said they have intensity is close to some people in some areas, but not the content.
So, Dr. Sunday Delaja, my best mentor in the whole wide world, Daddy God chose the best for me and for all of us here. And it's a real honor and a real privilege to know you and to meet every one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the privilege. Thank you.
thought your daughter wanted to take over.
Hello, everyone. I just want to start by saying that coming here, I thought that I knew some things about myself, and it turns out that actually there's a lot that I don't know. I thought I knew Dr. Sunday. It also turns out that I don't know anything about Dr. Sunday. And it's just been, the best way I can explain it, I feel like I've gone on some detox, like a deep detox, like where all the baggage and all the, belief systems that I've believed, like all the things that were not true about myself, I feel like I was just going through a cleansing, a deep washing. That's how I feel. That's what I'm getting, not feel. That's what I'm getting. And I know that when I go back, I can't wait to go back to God. Like, I just can't wait to talk to him. I can't wait to relate to him. I can't wait to tell him that, oh my goodness, Daddy God, I'm this biomass. I'm this person who's a mere mortal. I have to be real with myself. I have to ask myself the most difficult questions, because if I can't do that, then I won't be able to move forward. So, as much as I am so tired, I just wish we could, I can't get enough, even though it's overwhelming, and I know that I have to reflect on it to get more of it and go back to it. This is the heaven.
Yeah.
I just want to live in this truth.
Yeah.
As much as it's so difficult, it's hard. I don't know how many times I've cried. I was shaking the whole way out. There were some times I couldn't even express myself, but that's okay. That's okay, because I'm living here a much better person than I arrived. So thank you so much. Anyone want to speak?
Thank you. Well, it's a wonderful time, and I could say a lot of things. First of all, I just want to thank you, Dr. Sunday, because for the generosity which you gave yourself to us, all these hours, all your content, all your joy, everything. You are not egoist, selfish. You are giving, you are pouring out yourself for us in those days, and it's a real privilege. I don't know where else it's possible, but I want to thank you, because it's so precious. It's the pearls we are searching. I was searching all around the world, so I appreciate the value of what I have downloaded. I know the price of it, and I can see how you are doing it, which is the proof of your content also, because you are living it just for us. The way you are living for us in this time, it's like Jesus with the 12. Really, really. So it's huge. It's huge, huge, huge. On the form, what you are doing, it's very, very huge. And what I can say, not by emotion or to please, but you won't be deceived, because I know I got it. It's in me. Yeah. I'm going to work on it, but it's already in me. I know the seed is here. I'm pregnant. Yes. Yeah. It already arrived several times when I was pregnant with some things, and I have given birth, so I know it's the same process. And what I could say to describe what I've been living, I could say everything is redimensioned for me. The gospel is redimensioned. My calling is redimensioned. Myself is redimensioned to be a personality. So, wow. I have air to breathe because my world was becoming too small. And I know God is leading me here since May. And I'm very grateful to God and to you. Also, what I could say, it's a real good to know each one of you at a personal level. I had a great time with every one of you, and there is something really true, really kingdom, heavens, life among us during this time, and I'm grateful for that.
You are so eloquent, Pastor.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank God for making it possible for me to make this training. I want to thank Dr. Sunday for the content he has given out. You know, all the while I've been planning to come. Every time I plan, because of Uncle Sam, Uncle Sam, you know, and
But personalities are not under Uncle Sam.
yes, I'm coming out. I'm coming out. You know, since last year, I wanted to come, even the ones we did beginning of the year, and just October, because I work with one of the biggest companies in Germany, and they said we should submit our holiday plans, and I had no, and there was no plan for training at that time, and I just had to give any dates, you know. And afterwards, dates began to come out from the HMT, and I tried to talk to my boss. They told me no, they can't change. And including this week. So I said, okay. So all the training, I think they had one in January, the anniversary, and came the birthday, I missed all. I wept in my heart that I couldn't come. But this one, I prayed, I said, God, I don't think this year should pass without me going for HMT. So I had to go to my boss personally. I told him, I said, I want to travel to Ukraine. I didn't fix this date. It was another, this holiday was in September. I said, I want to go for training in Ukraine. So he asked me, I know you are a pastor. I said, yes. I said, I want to go for training, and it's something that's going to help me. I want you to change this holiday and give it to me this week. He said, okay, he's going to check, but normally he can't do it. And after, I think, 2 weeks, he came back and told me that it has been approved.
Wow.
That was the beginning of the testimony. So my being here is not by accident.
Amen.
It is God's arrangement. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So I had to do everything possible to be here. And I believe God made the yoke has been broken. So I want to thank God so much. And I want to thank the team and the DSF for the content. In fact, it's like
everything for a year. You
yes,
got it in 1
I've got
week.
it, yeah, because there's nothing I would become in life that I've not gotten. I mean, there's nothing that I need to become in life that I've not received here.
Yeah.
Let's say the truth. Yeah. Whether in ministry, in business, I can become whoever God created me to be. So this is like a beginning of a new life. for me. A new life, a new ministry, a new everything. So I'm just so grateful to God that He made it possible for me to come. And so thank you so much, Pastor, for the impact you've made in my life, in my family, in my ministry. It has been so great. I used to say, if I did not know you, I don't know how my life could have been today. Yes, it is a fact. I'm telling you. If I did not follow this man, I don't know what could have become of, come out of my life today. Because I've made so much mess in the ministry, but the truth I learned from him is what is holding me till today. So I want to encourage everyone. Let's not end here. When we get home, just make out time and sit with this message again, all through. Digest, swallow everything. This is what I'm going to do. I will convert to audio. We'll have video. We'll have audio. I will have everything, and I would make sure with the book. I think it will better with the book, this new book. So I'm just going to use it and chew it and turn everything about my life around. Pastor, thank you so much. May the Lord continue to strengthen you. Amen. Thank you because you've given without limitation. You're just giving everything. We're just giving everything. And conference like this, you pay. Training like this, you pay. So sometimes I still like to say, this thing is so it's nothing. How much have I paid? I know of conferences some conferences I checked I wanted to attend in the US those years. What you pay, that's so expensive. But this is just nothing. It's just free. Free from, the accommodation, feeding, and everything. It's nothing to write them about. So those who are watching, it is a great opportunity. This is a free conference, a free training. So just make out time and come, and you'll never regret. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I wasn't planning to come out, but my legs were moving, so I just...
You had to follow it.
I had to follow it. Yeah. I don't know where to start. It's like you've been given the syllabus of life. That this is how life is supposed to be. Yeah. And now, go live it. And it's going to take ages, honestly, to work through this. But what's profound about it all is that where else will you find it? You can live your whole life and die and go.
You can never find it in one place.
You won't find it. You won't find it. Like what, DSA, you were saying earlier that, if you decide that you don't want to listen to what DSA is saying anymore, that you've put a curse on yourself, basically. Yes. Because you'll be going round.
You can live 1,000 years and not get it. You'll be getting snippets of truth here and there. Like in the quotes that we were seeing, different people, they were all getting snippets of the truth. They were coming out, But who's going to show you who you are supposed to become in God? Because this is not just about studying books to find things, but it's also listening to God to find out what man is supposed to be. And I've read books, which I thought were profound, talking about what is man and etc. They don't come close. This is profound. And for me, the very encouraging thing about it is that I feel overwhelmed, but at the same time, I don't feel daunted. In other words, I believe that it's achievable. I know it's going to be hard work, and it's going to take time and sacrifice. But I thank God. I'm really, really grateful to God that I came. This is not what I expected when I was coming. Like Livia said, you think that, you're going to meet the DSA, you're going to meet the pastor, you hear some sermons, you hear some things that will be good, and then you go home. No.
That's not, if that's, those of you watching at home, that's not it. You come and sit here, your heart is ripped open. The word pierces through like a sword. It goes for the target. The things in your life that entangled you and stopped you, made you a prisoner, so that you can't serve God. The word comes. And for me, it was like, when you're taking off the peel from the onion, layer after layer, layer after layer. It's when you get deeper that, you really get the real stuff. And it was gradual. The first couple of days, I felt uncomfortable. And I didn't understand why I was feeling like that. I just felt uncomfortable, just didn't quite like what was going on. On one hand, my head said what was being taught was good, but my feelings were all over the place. I didn't understand it. Then by day 3, it started to become clear. Because when God starts to target deep stuff, you have to feel it. You will feel it. Because he's targeting the idols in your life. Idols, that's what it is. Idols, anything that takes the place of God in your life. Anything that means that when he comes and says, let's go, and you are a little bit hesitant, is an idol. You have to become a servant of God, servant of truth, a servant of values. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's like God has been redefined for me. Redefined. Because you think you know God. You think you know God, but you attach labels on him. You create something of your own imagination. And then you think, oh, this is, God is like this, God is like that. And I like the way, you took, it's like you took, not a good expression, but you took God apart to show us. Yes.
That's a hard one.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one, but that's the only way I can express it. Wow. Then you took God apart to show us the component parts, what God is made of. Because you could be saying God, 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 and then next time you pray that God should kill your enemies.
Okay, so you just say God, God, but it's actually like a myth.
It's a myth.
Like an illusion.
You've created something in your own mind.
Nothing concrete.
You see, what's happening is, you get some truth from the Word of God, which you believe in, which is genuine, but you attach other things to God in your mind because you've listened to different sermons, and those sermons have all given you an image of God. So the one you've got, it's a combination.
Of mess.
Yes, it's a combination. Suddenly, so when you use the word truth, the thing about truth is that it's non-compromising. The word truth just shames everything because you can't attach anything else to it.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying.
There are no alternatives to truth.
There are no places where you go to where people will just talk to you so much about God.
No.
They normally just tell you about blessings, what it does, what it gives you, what you can get from him. But not him. Oh, now I get exactly what he's done. So the expose is an expose into God himself. Yes. Beautiful. Yeah. So it's like you brought the very nature, the very essence of who God is. Because it's only when you get that you can tap into him and then become who he wants you to be. And that's what we have lost in churches today. Churches don't tell you about God. They tell you what you can get from God, how you can use God. But they don't expose God to you. You don't know God. That's why you can go to church for 30 years, you still don't know anything about God. You say.
So like you said, it's like you're supposed to look into God, see an image of yourself.
Oh, yes.
The image that he wants you to see and become that image. But the problem is that mirror has been blurred. People have put different things on it for you. So you look there, you don't see the real God. That's why different gods are being preached in different churches. Each person has his own version of God.
Every church has its own.
Every church has its own version. So you go here, this one gives you that version of God. You get a little bit of that. You follow that man of God. Each person, and then you end up with a mosaic that you call God. And then you wonder why sometimes you pray and you don't get an answer, or you're trying to pin some promises onto and it doesn't happen because it's not in line with the truth.
Yeah.
It's not in line with the true God.
Wow.
So suddenly, for me, what you've done for me is you've redefined God. You've redefined God. By redefining personality, you've redefined God for me. That's what you've done for me. And now I have to keep that image before me and not look left or right. Just that image. Go for it to become the person He made me to be. Thank you. May God bless you. Thank you.
You are so descriptive. You brought it up. You brought it up. You brought down the ceiling. Thank you so much. Well, you know, I'm just grateful that at least there is a place on the earth where the Alpha and Omega is God. Where from beginning to the end, no junks. I mean, if you go to church today, for the first 3 hours, they will just be playing some music, dancing, and I'm waiting for people to come. Then once the people come, then then another 1 hour for offering. Once the kind of offering has finished, then I don't know, all kind of stories, cooked up testimonies, stage miracles, all kind of, pumping up, you know. I mean, so it's like we are in a microscopic heaven here. I mean, what do you call it? You know, it's like a mini heaven. Yeah. It's like just, you know, heaven. And I want you to go enjoy that heaven tonight. You know, please make sure you sleep. I don't know if they are going to give you assignments or not. Probably they are going to. So I'm going to let you go. And tomorrow we want to do an excursus into the future of African continent, into the future of Nigeria, into the future of Africa, and into the future of what Pastor Sunday is living for. You know, we say personalities live for the invisible. They are not impressed by what they have done. I'm not impressed by all this anymore, or by Ukraine, or that's in my past. I'm looking to the invisible. So we want to show you a picture of that invisible future that we are looking forward to bringing into reality on the African continent. My pleasure. I was supposed to be wearing green tomorrow. Maybe I will see. Yeah, maybe I will find a way. I don't know. Maybe I'll find something else. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm obedient. Have a wonderful evening. God bless.
Okay. Okay, let's be seated. So this is the end of the first section. This is the end of the first section for today. So thank you, Facebook friends, for staying with us to the end. And also thank you to those that shared the video as well. As DSA said, we're still going to, tomorrow is going to be the last day. Yeah, you know, last day. Yeah. So tomorrow is going to be kind of a different, because DSA is going to talk about Nigerian project, and we are going to have Professor Chris Imafidon, finally. Yes, finally. So I think it's really gonna be exciting, really. I so much believe that. So I won't take much of your time, our friends on Facebook. See you tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. We're starting tomorrow at, is it 8 a.m. Nigerian time? Am I correct? Oh, no. That will be 8 a.m. here. Wow, which is 6 a.m. Nigerian time. Okay. Well, for those of you that won't be able to join us because it's too early, we're going to have first section as well. We're going to have full day. So I believe you should be able to join one of the sections. So good night, and see you tomorrow. Good night. Bye.